Namaskar. Am I audible and visible to you all properly? Am I audible and visible? Okay. So let's start today's session with Om chanting and prayer. Both hands on Gyan Mudra. Keep your spine straight, neck straight. Now relax your shoulders, relax your facial muscles. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Again inhale. And while exhaling, chant Om. Now join your both palms. Prayer. Yogena cheta sapadena vacham malam sharira sajavaidakena yopakarotam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. Gently open your eyes. Namaskar to all. Yogpath Wellness welcomes you all to today's Yoga Weekly Grouped Out session. So, today we are going to discuss about diabetes. Hello friends, I am Rashmi and today we are going to discuss about the topic diabetes. So, what do you understand when you hear diabetes? Diabetes is a kind of metabolic disorder and it mainly characterized by elevated blood sugar levels in our body. Elevation of blood sugar level is also known as the hyperglycemia. So now, what is the reason of diabetes? There are several reasons behind diabetes, and the main reason is the faulty lifestyle. So, when we talk about the diabetes, let's know about the prevalence rate of diabetes. So, in 2021, about one in India, about 127.4 million cases are reported of diabetes. And it is expected that it will be increased to 193 million by 2025. It is a great prevalence rate of diabetes. If diabetes can't be controlled, it may become a big problem, a big disease in India and all over the world. So, let's know about why the diabetes cause. There are several causes behind diabetes and these causes are depends on the types of the diabetes. So now we are going to discuss the types of diabetes first. Then we are discuss the causes of these types. There are several types of diabetes. Like there is a type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, pre-diabetes. These are the main types of the diabetes. Now, let's talk about the type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is a kind of autoimmune disorder. Basically, the autoimmune disorder is a term which is derived by when your body's cells destroying the healthy cells of your own body. So, same in this condition, same in this situation, your immune system destroying your healthy beta cells in your body. These beta cells are produced in the pancreas, and these beta cells are responsible for regulating the hormone insulin. So when type 1 diabetes occurs, it directly affects the beta cells, and it directly fluctuate the levels of insulin in your body. That's why your blood sugar level get increased. When beta cells not formed, there is a disbalance in the insulin hormone. Insulin hormone is basically for the regulating your blood sugar level, because insulin is a hormone which is responsible to take sugar from the bloodstream and use it to make it's a energy form. It normally it can take the sugar from the bloodstream or glucose from the bloodstream and helps to make it energy, the form of energy. So this all cycle get disturbed just by the dysregulation in the beta cell formation. This is the type 1 diabetes. The main cause is uh, autoimmune conditions, and there are several causes are like, this is genetic. So the genetic factor is also responsible for the type 1 diabetes. The environmental factor also responsible. Stress is the main reason. So these are some causes of type 1 diabetes. Now let's talk about the type 2 diabetes. It is also known as the adult onset diabetes. Basically, in type 2 diabetes, there is a dysregulation of insulin hormone, and there is a condition generated by the situation which is known as the insulin resistance. There are two things which are done in this diabetes. First, there is inappropriate production of insulin in your body, and second, your body cells is not getting the insulin in the proper amount or regulating it in the proper amount. So first, uh, improper formation of insulin and improper regulation of insulin. There are the two main things which comes in the type 2 diabetes. Main causes of type 2 diabetes are like, if your lifestyle gets faulty, like you are eating unhealthy foods, your eating habits are not so good, you are not taking balanced diet, you are in the stage of obesity, and you are not properly manage your stress. So the poor stress management is also the main cause of type 2 diabetes. Now we're going to discuss about the pre-diabetes. So the name clears about itself. Pre-diabetes means it is a condition which comes before the diabetes, but it not able to diagnose as a diabetes, but it's higher than the normal blood sugar level. So basically, the normal blood sugar level is between 70 mg per dl to 100 mg per dl. This is the fasting blood sugar level. If your fasting blood sugar level is continuously increasing from this measurement, so it will become to the pre-diabetes. And if it cross this stage, it will convert it into diabetes. According to some studies, according to some experiments, scientific studies and researches, it is proved that if you can't manage your pre-diabetes in time, it will be converted to diabetes within 6 to 7 years. So it is very, very important to manage your pre-diabetes. And to manage the pre-diabetes, first you have to diagnose the pre-diabetes. So there is a regular glucose monitor checking for the diagnosis of the diabetes. Now let's talk about the gestational diabetes. This is also a type of diabetes. So gestational diabetes means it affects the pregnant women. During the pregnancy, when the blood sugar level elevate in pregnant women, so this condition is known as the gestational diabetes. It affects both mother and the child. So this type of pregnancy, when a pregnant woman having the elevated blood sugar levels in the blood, so this is known as the gestational diabetes, and there are so many reasons which cause gestational diabetes. First reason is the hormone changes. There are several hormone changes in body during the pregnancy. Second cause is the obesity. Third cause is the high blood sugar level of pregnant women or irregulate uh, blood pressure. And next thing is the stress. If some women having stress regarding anything, regarding her pregnancy, regarding her anything, so this stress is also cause diabetes because it increase the glycemic index in her body. And next thing is the uh, inappropriate food habits. Basically, in pregnancy, there are some food cravings which a pregnant woman have to go through. So these type of food cravings leads to the unhealthy food habits, and these unhealthy food habits leads to the prediabetes or diabetes, which result as the gestational diabetes. So these are some types of diabetes and the definition of diabetes we discuss, and the basic particular causes of diabetes we discuss according to the types of the diabetes. Now I would like to call Shweta ma'am for the further session.
Namaskar. I hope you all are doing well. I hope this session is very informative to you, that you are able to know exact meaning of and types of diabetes. So now start with the further session. In the further session, I am going to discuss about how to reverse diabetes and what are the components that you are able to reverse your diabetes by following yogic lifestyle. So we will discussing the components of yogic lifestyle in this later video. So now let's get started. So first we have to understand for the diabetes reversal is what is diabetes reverse. Why we call it diabetes reverse? The reversal of diabetes means the blood sugar level should be maintained at a normal level. Normal level, it should not spiking the blood sugar, and it should be in that level that your blood sugar level is maintained by following various test measures in which that you no need for medication at least for 3 months. So if you are able to manage your diabetes without any medication, then you may call it diabetes reversal. But doctors don't talk about the complete cure of the diabetes. Why? Why the doctors are not recommended to curing diabetes completely? Because it has a genetic factors and the functions of beta cells that are responsible for developing and providing the risk of developing diabetes in future. Because the person has if the person has a family history of having diabetes, so the future generations of that family history will always be in a risk of developing diabetes. So this is the reason that why diabetes cannot be cured completely, but we have the option. We can reverse the diabetes by taking into the remission. That means remission means by maintaining our blood sugar levels under control. Under control means it should be maintained without the need for medication at least for 3 months. If a person can maintain their normal blood sugar level without taking having any medication, glucose lowering medication, so we can say that this person is in remission and they have maintained and controlled diabetes. So how we can get into the remission? We can get into the remission and we can maintain our blood glucose level for a longer time by following the proper diet, exercise, weight loss, and proper sleep management. These are the basic factors for maintaining the blood glucose level. Now, we will discuss all these factors in detail because it will help in following the yogic lifestyle. The first factor to get into the remission is proper diet or balanced diet. You have to take the balanced diet for maintaining your blood sugar level for longer time. You have to avoid those food that has a high glycemic index. That the glycemic index which are found in mostly in carbohydrate food products. The carbohydrate is majorly responsible for increasing the blood glucose level. Why? Because the carbohydrates, whenever we eat any carbohydrate that is high in glycemic index, it breaks down into the sugar and spread into our blood. So when the level of blood sugar level is gonna high, then automatically we comes into the risk of having diabetes. So what is the reason why it is not controlled by having the poor diet? The reason is that whenever the blood glucose levels are high in our blood, so it is like a train. It is like a bus or a train or a metro you can consider for an example. So if it is high in amount, so the conductor is in this case is insulin. So when the conductor is pushing you that you must enter into the cells, so what happens? The passengers are reluctant to enter any passengers in the bus, train, or a metro. So as like the passengers, the blood sugar levels, the high amount of blood sugar level resist the functioning of insulin that is working as a conductor that please stop. Don't don't enter, don't try to enter in this area because we are already full. So this is the reason the high glycemic food spread into our blood and resist the functioning of the insulin level, so that it can create the risk of developing diabetes. So we must ensure that we have to take a balanced diet in which the protein rich food, the fiber rich food, and we must include all the nutrients in our food so that our diet should be balanced. Now, the next factor we are considering for maintaining our blood glucose level is exercising. Exercising is very important because without exercise, we can control our we cannot increase the functioning of a body to maintain the blood glucose level. The physical labor is always trying to push the blood glucose to use into an energy form, converts that glucose into the energy when we use physical labor or exercise. So the sedentary lifestyle, if the person is sedentary, he's not able to use their blood glucose level so far. So this is the reason they can get and suffer from the diabetes in future. Now, the next factor we are going to consider is sleep. If the person is taking the proper sleep, so he may can control their blood sugar level also. The sleep is a very important factor because while sleeping, our lots of body mechanism works together and maintain our hormonal balances so that the cortisol and adrenaline factor could not affect the blood glucose levels. So the proper sleep is very important in this. Now come to the next part, that is we must avoid the smoking and the alcohol habits. Yes, the smoking and alcohol habits can also increase the risk of diabetes. So while getting to the remission, we must avoid the smoking and alcohol because it is the according to the research, it is also a risk factor for developing diabetes. Another is the very important factor is stress. We take for we take stress for granted. We say stress is the part of the life. In every step, the stress disturbs a lot. Daily stressors, lifestyle stressors, and the eventful stressors, yani life episodes uh, are responsible for generating the stress in our day-to-day life, and it affects our hormonal balance, and it is also responsible for disrupting the hormonal imbalance, and it releases the adrenaline and cortisol in our blood glucose levels in a high amount. So so the adrenaline and the cortisol level disrupts a lot the blood glucose functioning. It cannot be able to broken down into the energy form. So these hormonal imbalance can create a huge blunder in maintaining the blood glucose level. So we must try to avoid the stress and try to organize yourself as much as possible. Now comes to the next factor, that is environmental factor. The environmental factor can be the pollutants, the chemical generated exposure can also affect our blood glucose levels also. So we must try to be uh, create a healthy lifestyle and try to avoid to exposure of any pollutant and chemical related uh, things. So now I'm going to consider so how you can maintain the blood glucose level and you can get into the remission. How do you know that you are in the period of remission, that your blood sugar level has maintained well? So by doing the blood test, we are able to know that our blood glucose level is maintained and we are getting to the remission and we are able to reverse our diabetes. So the blood test, that means the HbA1c level, is providing the surety that you are getting into the remission period. When your HbA1c level is below 48 mole, that means it should be less than 6.5%, then you may consider that you are under the control of diabetes. You are able to control diabetes, and if you are not taking your glucose medication and your HbA1c level is still exists in this amount, that means the 48 mole, less than 48 mole, so you can consider yourself that you are into the remission period. But you should not take it for granted. You have to maintain proper diet and other lifestyle factors in a balanced way so that you will be able to maintain your blood sugar level and be in this your remission period for a long time. So diabetes can always be a risk factor for developing in future again, because as I already said, that it cannot be cured completely. It cannot gone away from your history. Once you have the diagnosis of diabetes, you will always be in a risk of developing diabetes, as you know. So I am consistently saying that you have to maintain your blood sugar level by following all these components maintained. And now I'm going to share with you a proper yogic lifestyle to stay always in the remission, and which the components of yogic lifestyle is always helpful for maintaining your blood sugar level. The number one is physical labor. The physical exercises, running, walking, swimming, etc. The physical labor, how much physical labor you do, you will be at a lower risk of developing diabetes. And the asana, yogasana, and the pranayam will also helpful in to get into the remission very fast. So, what are the yogasanas we can follow in diabetes and avoid and avoid the risk of developing diabetes again? So number one asana you can practice is sun salutation. That means in Hindi is Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is very good yoga asana to follow and to maintain your blood sugar levels in under control. The number two yogasana is Mandukasana. Number three is Tadasana. Number four, Shashankasan. Number five, Yoga Mudrasan. Number six, Bhujangasan. The asana which can a twisting asana can be used for controlling the diabetes, because the asanas exerts pressure in your abdominal muscles. So these asanas are very helpful in controlling diabetes. So as I told, these asana is also very helpful in maintaining the blood glucose level, because they are exerting a lot of pressure on your abdominal muscles, which can use your blood sugar levels and helps in converting into the energy. So this asana is very helpful for functioning of insulin very well. So now come to the pranayam. The pranayam which are very helpful in controlling diabetes are, the number one is Nadi Shodhan pranayam. Nadi Shodhan pranayam is very effective pranayam for controlling the diabetes, for maintaining the blood sugar level, because it also exerts the pressure in the abdominal muscles, so we can create a balance in get into the remission. The number two pranayam is Brahmari pranayam. Brahmari pranayam is with the buzzing sound is very important for maintaining the blood sugar level. The number three is Bhastrika pranayam. The Bhastrika pranayam, it's a famous pranayam for exerting the pressure on your abdominal muscle, in which you have to take breathe in and breathe out very fast. So it creates a lot of pressure again in your abdominal muscles. So why these? These are the reasons that these asanas and pranayam are very helpful in maintaining the blood sugar levels. Now, next come to the next component, that is a proper diet. As I told in the earlier, that proper diet and balanced diet is very effective for maintaining the blood glucose level. So one factor that yogic lifestyle follows, eat only when you feel hungry a lot. This is the mantra of yogic lifestyle. So try to eat when you are really having hunger. When you are really hungry, then only you can eat food. This is the rule of yogic lifestyle. Number 3 is fasting. The fasting is very important for diabetes to maintain the balance in achieving the remission period, because the creates fasting creates the blood glucose level converted into the energy form. So your body will can take time to uh, use your blood glucose level uh, for the physical use, for creating the energy by using these glucose levels. Now the number 3 component is to follow the proper sleep level. The proper sleep is very effective, as I told earlier, that it is one of the factor of uh, creating the diabetes or increasing the risk of diabetes if you are not able to take proper sleep. So one of the yogic lifestyle mantra is sleep only when you feel sleepy. So this is the rule. You have to stay awake in a day, and you have to go into the bed only when you are feel sleepy at night. The night is for sleep and the day is full to awake. So when you follow this rule properly and you are not exposing yourself to the tablets, computers, laptop, etc., mobile, so you will be able to take proper sleep at night. So the sleep factor is also very important. The number 4 factor is that you have to maintain the blood sugar levels is you don't have to expose yourself to the stress. So organizing and maintaining yourself is very important in yogic lifestyle. So try to organize yourself, try to fix your day-to-day activities so that you are not be able to expose stress continuously. So when your stress level is get maintained, so you are able to maintain the diabetes as well. Now, the next factor of yogic lifestyle is you have to take a yogic yogic food and yogic environment. It will help in creating the blood glucose level into the remission. So how we can get the yogic lifestyle, follow the yogic lifestyle very well. So without getting into the exposure of alcohol, avoid smoking and avoid chemical exposing components. So these are the factors that we can follow in our yogic lifestyle. So we can avoid, if we can avoid these alcohol, smoking and pollutant chemical exposing components, so we would be able to maintain our diabetes very well. So exercise, diet and a yogic lifestyle is very important for maintaining the remission period or reversing the diabetes. So now I hope you understand what is the meaning of diabetes reversal and how you can control diabetes very well by following the yogic lifestyle. I hope this session is very informative to you, and this can be life changing for you if you can follow and try to maintain your blood glucose level. So now I'm inviting the Rashmi ma'am to start that Q&A session. If you have any query regarding today's asana, regarding diabetes and other factors that may affect diabetes, that is uh, any factor you would like to ask about, you may ask in this session.
If there is any query, any question regarding this session, so you ask from us. I think there is no query and suggestions, so we are going to end this meeting. Thank you so much for attending today's session.
Namaskar. Stay happy, stay healthy.